In Buddhism, there is a deep idea that your brain is not always telling you the truth. What you think, feel, and believe in your mind is not always reality. The mind is powerful, but it is also full of illusions. It creates stories, fears, desires, and judgments. These mental creations often make you suffer more than the real world does. When Buddhism says your brain is lying to you, it does not mean your brain is evil or useless. It means that the way you see things is often distorted, and you believe those distortions as truth. Buddha taught that life is full of maya, which means illusion. The mind sees the world through filters. For example, when something good happens, your mind says, "I am happy. I need more of this." When something bad happens, your mind says, "I am unhappy. I must avoid this forever." But both of these reactions are not the full truth. They are just mental stories. The reality is that everything is changing all the time. Nothing stays the same. Not happiness, not sadness, not people, not situations. But your brain tries to freeze moments and make them permanent. That is one way your brain lies to you. In Buddhism, there is also the idea of attachment. Your brain attaches itself to things, people, and ideas. It says, "This is mine, this is who I am," or "this must stay forever." But in reality, nothing truly belongs to you forever. Even your own body is changing every moment. When your brain believes in permanent ownership, it creates fear of loss. That fear is not coming from the outside world. It is created inside your mind. This is another way your brain is not showing the truth. Another way the brain lies is through emotions. When you feel anger, your mind tells you, "This person is bad," or "They hurt me on purpose." But Buddhism teaches that anger is like fire. It burns inside you and changes your view of reality. The person you are angry at may not be as bad as your mind is showing you. Your brain exaggerates situations. It adds extra meaning, extra pain, and extra stories. When the anger disappears, you often see the situation differently. This shows that your mind was not showing the full truth in the first place. Fear is also created by the mind. Sometimes you fear things that are not even happening. You imagine future problems and start suffering in the present moment. Your brain creates movies of danger and loss, and you believe them as real. Buddhism teaches that most suffering comes from the mind, not from reality itself. When you observe carefully, you will notice that the present moment is often peaceful, but the mind pulls you into past regrets or future worries. This is another form of mental illusion. Buddha also explained the idea of no self, or anatta. Your brain constantly creates an image of me. It says, "This is who I am. This is my personality. This is my life story." But when you look closely, there is no fixed self. You are changing every second. Your thoughts change, your feelings change, your body changes. The self is just a collection of changing experiences. The brain creates a story of identity, but that story is not solid truth. It is flexible and temporary. This is another way the brain constructs a false idea of reality. Meditation in Buddhism is a way to see through these mental lies. When you sit quietly and watch your thoughts, you begin to notice something important. Thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. When you realize this, you stop believing every thought as truth. you start to see that the mind is like a storyteller that never stops speaking. Some stories are helpful, but many are just noise. Meditation helps you step back and see clearly. When you understand that your brain is not always telling the truth, you become less controlled by it. You do not react so quickly. You do not believe every fear or desire. You start to respond with awareness instead of automatic reaction. This brings peace. Buddhism does not say you should fight your mind. It says you should understand it. When you understand how the mind works, its power over you becomes weaker. Another important teaching is impermanence. Everything changes. Your thoughts, emotions, and situations are always moving. But your brain wants stability. It tries to hold on to happiness and avoid pain. This creates suffering because change is natural. When your brain resists change, it creates tension inside you. But when you accept change, you feel lighter. You begin to see that nothing needs to be controlled completely. Life flows on its own. Buddhism also teaches mindfulness, which means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you are mindful, you see thoughts as thoughts, not truth. You see emotions as passing waves, not permanent reality. You begin to notice how often the mind creates stories that are not real. This awareness helps you break free from mental traps. So, when Buddhism says your brain is lying to you, it is pointing to this truth. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it is not a perfect mirror of reality. It filters, edits, and creates stories about everything. If you believe every thought, you will suffer. But if you observe your thoughts carefully, you will see that many of them are just passing illusions. In the end, Buddhism does not want you to reject your mind. It wants you to understand it. Your brain is like a river of thoughts. If you jump into it without awareness, you will be carried away. But if you stand on the shore and watch it flow, you will see clearly. You will understand that you are not the river. You are the awareness behind it. This understanding brings freedom. When you stop believing every thought, fear becomes weaker, anger becomes softer, and desire becomes balanced. You start living with more peace, clarity, and wisdom. And slowly, you realize that the truth was never hidden outside of you. It was always there, behind the noise of your own mind.